They were born together, lived together, laughed together. Then one night, two of them vanished without a trace. What could tear apart such a deep bond? What secrets were buried that night? This is not just a missing persons case. It's a wound that never healed, a mystery that still haunts a family. It began on a cold January night in the year 1980. The wind howled like a wounded beast along the River Tyne. Rain lashed against window panes, mirroring the tears that flowed from the eyes of a worried mother. Inside the house, a father searched desperately for his son. He called out names that echoed with worry. Eliza, Henny, where are you? He paused, his voice cracking. Where are you? And here's what happened to the missing triplets. The day started like any other. The sun rose over Newcastle upon Tyne, casting its golden light on the rows of terraced houses. Life was peaceful in the close-knit community of Benwell. The Jones family, with their triplets, Eliza, Henrietta, and Edith, were an integral part of this community. At 21, they were young adults, stepping into the world, eager to make their dreams come true. They shared a love for music, fashion, and most importantly, for each other. Eliza, the eldest by a mere minute, was known for her infectious laughter. She filled every room she entered with sunshine. Henrietta, the middle child, was artistic, finding solace in painting and writing poetry. Then there was Edith, the youngest. Her quiet strength anchored the trio. Their lives weren't picture perfect. They had financial struggles, academic pressures, and the usual challenges of growing up. But they tackled everything together, their bond being their shield and strength. On January 2nd, 1980, the triplets decided to celebrate their 21st birthday in style. They got ready in their favorite outfits, laughing as they struggled to apply makeup to each other. Eliza, being the eldest, pretended to scold them, all the while hiding a smile. After a night of dancing and laughter, around 11 p.m., they decided to head home. The night was chilly, but the warmth of their camaraderie kept them comfortable. As they crossed the Gallividian Bridge, they joked about how their shadow looked distorted in the dim gaslight, their laughter echoing over the dark water of the River Tyne. They were oblivious to the fact that this would be their last adventure together. When they didn't return home, their parents were initially not concerned. They're probably at a friend's place, their father thought, dismissing his wife's mounting worry. 2 hours passed, then 3. By 2:12 a.m., when the clock struck, alarm bells started ringing in their parents' hearts. This was unusual for the responsible young women. They always called if they were going to be late. A chill wind blew across the bridge, carrying with it the sound of rushing water and the faint glow of distant streetlights. For the Jones family, this moment was etched in eternity. This was the last time they saw their daughters alive. Their landlady, Mrs. Dawson, recalled receiving a strange call that night. "I received a call saying that we wouldn't be returning," she told the police, her voice trembling. "I assumed they were joking until they failed to show up for breakfast the next morning." Their absence was noticed. The days that followed were a blur of frantic phone calls, desperate searches, and sleepless nights. Mrs. Dawson contacted the local pubs and youth hostels, but no one had seen the girls. The police were quick to respond. Inspector Ken Wales described the case as perplexing. There was no indication of a struggle, no sign that they had packed, no indication of foul play. It was as though they had literally vanished into thin air, he stated. The community rallied around the Jones family. Friends, neighbors, and even strangers joined the search parties, combing through every inch of the area. Leaflets with the girls' pictures were distributed, and the local church bells tolled, each toll reverberating the sorrow in the community's heart. But amidst all the chaos, one detail stood out. The family's car was still parked outside their house. It was as if the girls had stepped out for a quick errand and never returned. Detective Sergeant Mick Stratton, leading the investigation, called it the strangest case he'd ever seen. He worked tirelessly, interviewing everyone who had seen the triplets, retracing their steps, and checking alibis. Theories abounded, each more speculative than the last. Had they run away from home? Were they kidnapped? Or had they simply slipped and fallen into the river? As the days turned into weeks, the police focused on the river theory. The bridge where the girls were last seen was close to the river, and it was not uncommon for people to take a midnight stroll along its banks. Could the triplets have accidentally fallen in? The water, however, gave up no answers. Divers searched every nook and cranny, but there was no sign of the missing sisters. It was as if they had evaporated. On February 27, 1980, 2 bodies were discovered in the river. The news spread like wildfire through the tight-knit community. Hope surged, then crashed down when it was confirmed that the bodies were not the triplets. The family clung to the belief that they were still out there, alive somewhere, waiting to be found. Still, the lack of answers gnawed at them, turning days into nights and nights into longer days. In the following months, rumors swirled around the town. Some spoke of a mysterious van seen near the bridge the night of the disappearance. Others claimed to have seen the girls at a bus stop heading south. Each lead was chased, every tip followed, but none led to a reunion. The passage of time did little to diminish the family's determination. Every birthday was a torment, every Christmas a reminder of what they'd lost. Their mother refused to remove the decorations from the triplets' shared room, preserving it as a shrine to their memory. Years turned into decades. The world moved on, but the Jones family never did. They lived in the haunting silence of what-ifs and could-have-beens. Edith, the youngest of the triplets, threw herself into her work, becoming a well-known local painter, finding solace in colors and canvas. Her art became her therapy, her way of communicating with the sisters she could no longer speak to. In her paintings, Eliza and Henrietta came alive, not as they were, but as she remembered them, laughing, dancing, reaching for their dreams. Her art was a conversation across the divide of death and silence. Their brother, Mark, became a prominent local musician, his songs echoing the longing and grief of a brother who lost not one, but 2 sisters. His music resonated with thousands, many of whom saw their own stories of loss and longing in his lyrics. The parents aged, their hair whitening with each passing year, their eyes clouding with unshed tears. They never remarried, never replaced the missing triplets. They lived with the constant ache of loss. Then there was Mrs. Dawson, their landlady, who still wondered if she could have done more, if she could have prevented the tragedy by simply making one phone call earlier. Their friends scattered, their lives changing directions, but the memory of the triplets remained. Every year, they gathered at the bridge, releasing white balloons into the sky, each balloon carrying a silent prayer, a wish for their return, a hope for closure. And so the case of the missing triplets remained a mystery, a puzzle with some pieces missing. The pain was as fresh after 35 years as it was on the first day. The family was torn apart, not by distance, not by choice, but by an unknown force that snatched 2 of them away, leaving behind only echoes and unanswered questions. If this story touched your heart, if it brought back memories of your own struggles, or if you just want to show your support, don't forget to hit that like button. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you've already subscribed, thank you for being part of our journey. Together, we can keep these stories alive, ensuring that no voice goes unheard.